Hi, we're going to talk about difficult words. To begin with, I'd like you to look at these words and phrases on the left and match them with the definitions on the right. And if you're watching, you can pause the video now to take a minute and try to match those up. And here are the answers. Dismember is to cut off a body part. Bon voyage, have a good trip. Du jour, of the day. Regurgitate, to recall from the stomach. And iteration is repetition. Regurgitate is a particularly fun one. Alright, so when you're reading and you encounter an unknown word, there are two basic strategies, right? The first one is look it up and learn it, period. Well, there's no period there perhaps ought to be. But the second one is to figure it out by looking at the words around it and by looking at the word itself. With certain words, like foreign words, method B, we're not going to get much done with it. So these words, for example, faux pas, déjà vu, du jour, bon voyage, and RSVP. Right? These are their definitions. And these words you just have to learn. Unless you happen to speak French. Well, here you could see the word voyage, and you could think, oh, that's a kind of trip somewhere. And bon, maybe if you speak Spanish or Italian or French. Well, if you speak French, this is all easy. But Spanish or Italian, you could say bon, kind of like buono or bien, and you could say that's probably good. So I mean that could happen as well, but maybe not. Maybe faux you've encountered, meaning fake, but kind of faux pas, social error, whatever. Here's some exercises. Take a minute to look at them, and then I'm going to give you the answers. First one is RSVP. I'm good because it's at a party. I should respond to her invitation. 2, I've been here before, so it's déjà vu. 3, what's the soup of the day, du jour. You're going to China? Oh, bon voyage, have a good trip. Oops, I didn't know I was supposed to do that. Wasn't supposed to do that. I've just made a faux pas. Next is context. I watched a mama bird feed her babies by regurgitating worms. Well, if you've ever seen a mama bird feeding her babies, you know that she chews up a worm and then spits it out. She regurgitates it for the kids to eat so they don't have to chew the worm up. So if you can picture that, you can picture regurgitation. Second is the vicious murderer dismembered all his victims. This one you don't really know what dismembered means. It could mean to, remove the skin, could mean to dress in fine clothing, it could mean to apply makeup to. But we have the word vicious, which means mean, and it's a murderer, so it's definitely not a great word. And it's something that you would do to a victim of a murder. Who knows? Dismembered is particularly nasty thing to do. And then next, we have the next iteration of the pattern is particularly beautiful. So you must think of what a pattern is, and it's something that's repeated over and over and over and over again. And each one of those overs is an iteration. Next is you can look another way, so that was looking at the context. Next is you do a little bit of a linguistic analysis. And let's look at regurgitate. You can look at it and try to split it up into parts. And the first part is re. And then the next part is gurgit. And the last part is ate, which is kind of funny for this word. But re, means to do something again. Review, redo, replay, rehash, rewrite, reconfigure, anything. Gurgit, who knows? But we'll find out, actually. And then ate means it's a verb. Hesitate, frustrate, placate, donate, anything else you can maybe think of. But if you just know about re and ate, you can figure out that the word means to do something again. To do something, whatever it is. And you could look it up in the sentence, regurgitate. Okay, so she ate the worm, but now her babies are going to eat the worm, so up it comes. And here's the etymology. Back flood, or engulf. opposite of pouring in. So it's an old word from 1600. Interesting. Next, we have iteration, and here we don't have that much help. We just know that ION tends to mean a noun. Suspension, allusion, alliteration, prevention, any allusion, anything with, oh, we already got allusion. Anything that with an ION tends to be a noun. So you don't really know what it is, unless if you know the word reiterate, like I've got here, you know that means to do something again, over again. And then iteration, kind of doing it again, doing something over again, but it's a noun form, so it's that thing that is repeated. And it's a Latin word meaning to do again or to repeat. Yep. And the last one of our analysis set is dismember. We know dis is a negation of something, such as disuse, disrepair, disaggregate, disavow, not display. But many other words begin with dis. And then member, we know, well, that's a unit in a group, usually. I'm a member of the student council. I'm a member of the football team. So we know that we have a negation of something, and then that's a unit in a group. So we can kind of, in our head, realize that to dismember means to remove something from the group. And if we can get a little bit more specific, we can find that it means to actually tear limb from limb. So, kind of fun. And what we're doing is we're looking at prefixes and suffixes. Regurgitate, for example, has a prefix of re, and a suffix of ate, and a root word of gurgit, which is not really a word, but for this example it'll do. And these are some root words and suffixes. Some prefixes and suffixes. Anti, d, dis, ex, mis, pre, re, un, and then suffixes li, full, and less. Like, you know that adverbs tend to end in ly, whereas slow is an adjective, slowly is an adverb. Here's an example, retroactive. This suffix is not listed there, and neither is the prefix, I don't think. Nope. But retroactive. You can take a minute and you can try to think, what's the prefix, what's the root word, and what's the suffix? Do you see a word within the word retroactive that is somewhat familiar to you? Just take a minute, think about it. And there we go. We have retro is a prefix, act is the root word, and iv is our suffix. The iv means it's an adjective. Retro means in the past, and then act means to do something, and iv is an adjective. So retroactive means the act of doing something in the past, and usually it's referred to, well, the way that I know it is retroactive pay, where you're paid for work done in the past. Okay, if you'd like a little bit of help with these things, you can go to the Mr. Fowles wiki, mrfowles.wikispaces.com. On the left here, you go and you click on reading, and then you can click on difficult words, and you'll get the presentation. I'll put the video here too. Alright, thank you very much.